so this is going to be interesting. You got an Elder Titan Morphling lane going up into, I imagine, a Batrider solo. Apologies, sorry, that is...
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's correct. Now for power...
5 seconds remaining.
What is still in the pool for the morph to do with the Morphling? What has Winter been picking a lot? I mean, I feel like I've seen him run Shadow Demon and Winter Wyvern pretty much. That's it. Oracle is gone. Okay, so they don't have that. They need... Someone needs to build a Spirit Vessel, which is what I'm looking like. Batrider can't. They go for a Grimstroke. Wow, so here's your Winter hero. So you have double... Maleficus is extremely annoying to play around. So double Maleficus, double Lasso right now. And they'll potentially go for like a Lina, I think, mid lane, because they need shove. They don't have, I guess Batrider's okay. You can split push pretty well this game. There's not a lot of catch from Adroit. But I think they'll go something like that for their mid lane.
Radiant team pick.
Wow. Okay. So we spoke about it. Omni got banned in game 1. It's pretty good against a Batrider. If you can get the status, if you can get the Heavenly Grace off onto someone before they get lassoed, then the status resistance is great. You got a lot of sustain coming through, save for the Morphling. The only issue is there's a lot of magic damage right now for the Radiant side, so his ultimate is not going to do a whole lot.
5 seconds remaining.
And I wonder if they pick up someone who has a silence here. Because it's also really good versus the Morphling. They will go for the Pugna, however. So more magic damage. Power have got a crap load of magic. So it's going to be a mid lane Pugna, I imagine, is the case. So both teams, what are they? Adroit's looking for their mid. Radiant are looking for their safe lane.
10 seconds remaining.
You can't really go all magic because it's just really, you're not going to scale as well. People get BKBs. Remaining. Trying to think of a safe laner they can help with the Grimstroke, however, that's Soulbind. What do Adroit want?
Radiant team.
They ban out the Jug once again, I guess. Just, I mean, Faded played a really good Jug last game, even though the Omni Slashes were a bit off. Pugna's a hard matchup to deal with mid, I must say. Because you can't, like, I feel like, I like heroes like Lina to deal with the healing, the Nether Ward, but even then it's just extremely awkward because you're all magic, so then the Nether Ward just destroys you if you don't get rid of it. I guess the Morphling can.
5 seconds remaining.
And Conker's banned out as well, which Adroit's been falling back on a lot. What have they been picking up in the other games? Okay. So they can run the Morphling mid if they want to. They've done it before. They want to put it on Mac, which will be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think they will.
Radiant team pick.
Because it's going to the Pugna. They banned the Venno as well, so they'll probably pick like maybe like an Ursa here to deal with the Omni Knight, which is a really good way to kite out that melee hero. Do you really want an Ursa though? You're not going to scale at all. That just makes their lineup really weird, I feel like. Okay, they picked the Ursa. So it is a good matchup versus the Omni, but I feel like you're going to get kited. And now Dire, what do they go for with this? There's got to be something to deal with the Ursa as well, which is worrisome. I'm just trying to think if the morph's going to be a mid or not. Can you TA? Oh, Naga. Wow, okay, so morph mid.
Your heroes.
I'm a little... Wait. They're putting the... Is Mac their Naga? I guess Mac's their Naga player. If they're going to put it mid though, that's really weird. We don't see a lot of Nagas mid. I'm a little worried that this... Okay, so Radiant don't scale. The only person that's going to scale is the Enigma. Pugna and Ursa kind of fall off pretty hard. I mean, Ursa's going to get kited. There's a lot of ensnares along, stun duration. You have to worry about all the Elder Titans AoE. Rubik as well with the abilities he can steal, and also he's got, of course, the Arcane Supremacy to increase the stun.
Remaining. 5 seconds
I'm a little worried that if Power can't push fast, then they're in a bad situation, and they're going to be pushing towers into a Rubik and an Elder Titan who are really good at defending. I mean, I think this game is on the Omni Knight. He's going to be the one to create the pace, but you can't have a good matchup for him because he's going to the Ursa. Like, Omni's going to be the one to frontline and defend the towers, and it's going to be extremely hard for them to bring him down. Like, he builds a pipe this game. He just frontlines, having high levels, will have a crap load of sustain. So, I'm not really sure on how they can actually deal with him. Well, it'll be interesting to see, honestly, but I'm just intrigued on if this Naga is going to be mid or not. That's the question. Maybe just max the Naga player, which makes sense. I mean, a lot of people, for that the case, they can support the Morphling mid. Are we in a pause as well? I was going to say it's taking a long time. I'm trying to think of anything else. That's a lot of games, man. Holy. Like I said, I do think this Omni Knight is a way they defend the towers. Like, he's just the one TPing through, just being the frontline kind of raid boss early on. Just having a lot of utility items makes it really hard for him to get brought down. The only issue is that you can't put the Naga up against the Ursa, because then it's really awkward. So it kind of just forces this Omni Knight to be in the bad matchup. And we're going to see both a smoke once again from Radiant. They've, I feel like they've done this in a majority of their games. Going to try and get some vision down, potentially stop a ward, which they... Oh, he doesn't place one. Faded's going to walk up the high ground. Okay. So they're just going to sit up in here and wait, potentially, if they can try and get first blood. So, like I said, it will be a position 5 Elder Titan. And they should be able to scout out Boom. He's still got his Observe Ward as well. Winter drops a really deep one. Once again, it's just similar to the ward on the high ground. Just trying to scout out the lanes for what's going to be. How are they doing this? They're going to put Mac top. Where is the Batrider starting? He's down bot right now. So they're trying to dodge the Ursa lane. Regardless, so it's still going to be really bad. Either for the Omni Knight or the Naga. I'm a little worried about. Like I said, I think Radiant, they're not going to scale well into the late game. At least, I mean, it's a Rubik into an Enigma, so it's still incredibly hard for him to, get these good ultimates off, because you're always worried about Rubik being able to steal it. So it will be interesting to see with how they play it out. Because this Naga Morphling is going to be able to absolutely destroy them late. All they need is probably Lincolns to deal with the Batrider Lasso and the Soulbind as well. And then you're fine. Like, you don't really need a BKB because you've got the save coming through from the Omni Knight. So it's going to be interesting to see with how they play it. And I imagine this is going to be what exactly they're doing. It looks like Elder Titan's is probably going to try sit around the jungle area and scout out the movements from the Enigma. Just try and make it really hard for him to have a gain. Just soak as much experience as he can. Oh, please don't have the hiccups. Uh-oh. That would be a disaster. And there you go. So he's blocking the camp as well. And this is not good for the Enigma. We'll probably see him rotate down to this side of the jungle. A lot of the time, actually, I've seen Enigmas playing on the Dire side, because then it allows you to get really good farm. It's pretty much uncontested, and then you've got a clear pathway to rotate mid and also kill the Courier, which, I mean, he would get right now. They scout out the Courier, so if he was here, he'd be able to get this easily. And this is exactly what the Elder Titan's doing. Just bullying out the Enigma right now. Be able to get the last hit here. So he'll rotate all the way down, try and just avoid the Elder Titan, but it's going to be really hard for him. So it leaves Velo in a solo matchup versus Mac. So it's going to allow the Batrider to have a really good time. I don't know if he can get any kill potential in the Naga, just because Mac will have the basic Dispel coming through from the Mirrored Image, so he can get rid of the sticky knee palm. So both these heroes top should have a reasonably good time. And here goes the Elder Titan once again. It's gonna be scouted out thanks to the tower, but really there's nothing Polison can do right now. It's just, you know, forced to say hi to the Elder Titan and just allow him to soak up some experience. This is the issue right now. I mean, we see a lot of Rickies and Bounty Hunters. I mean, right now, Bounty Hunter is pretty much the only hero out of those two that is in the meta. They might actually try and get a kill mid. Boomy's got a haste. Nothing to say. He's got to be careful as well here. Level 3 on the Morphling. High Agi as well. Telekinesis to drag him back. Do they have enough damage, however? Fade Bolt low on mana. Looks like nothing to say. Will be fine. Elder Titan, only level 1 as well. Wasn't able to get in range, you know, for like an Astral or something. So, okay. So they force a rotation mid. Looks like Rubik's just going to go straight down bot, however. And Buck's actually having a really good time. 11-4. So it looks like he's still able to get some CS. We'll be going for the Soul Ring that we see often on the Omni Knights. Just allowing you to... It gives you really good stats. And just, you know, you always are able to get the Purification off. What is it? Soul Ring gives you 150 mana. And Purification max level is 130. So pretty much never losing mana if you combo that up. But right now, still, once again, another early game with not a whole lot of aggression coming through. We'll see nothing to say. Try and pressure this tower around the 5-minute mark. He should have 3, maybe... Yeah, he should have 3 points up in the Nether Blast. So we might see, you know, a rotation from a few of the supports from Radiant to try and protect this. How is the Enigma going as well? He's actually gone up top. Oh my lord. They trade kills up top. Velo and the Nagasai and Mac. Mac was able to get first blood though, so what did he get? Velo got a lot of gold for that, which is kind of surprising, but he didn't get the experience, which is big. What I was looking for is Polyson. He's not having a great time, and the issue is a lot of Enigmas around the 5-minute mark. They are able to get... sometimes they get a really fast Helm of the Dominator, and that allows you to push down towers. So I was trying to see if he would be able to hit the timing with that first catapult, but it doesn't look like that'll be the case because of how this Elder Titan has been playing around. But like Mac does have to be careful now without the mirror image. Velo's going to go for the dive here. 5 charges. Doesn't have the flame break. Mac just forced to sit underneath the tower. Really going to... There's nothing he can do. Mac slowly will get burnt down. Velo, another kill for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go for the lasso. Just goes maybe a point in the flame break, because it is a crap load of damage when you have that many sticky napalm charges. Here he comes. We're about to hit the 5-minute mark, so the bounty runes are about to come through. You see Elder Titan still just constantly trying to pressure out the Enigma. Only level 2 at this 5-minute mark, and this is not what you usually see on the Enigmas. They have a great time in the jungle, but he's done... You know, he's really done his role, even though he's not getting any experience. Actually, down bot, telekinesis. Drag faded away. Nice play from Boomy there. And this is the big timing that Dire being able to kind of work around. They've shut down the Enigma, which we spoke about. If they can do that, slow this Helm of the Dominator timing, which allows the potential to push to come through. They're going toe-to-toe mid lane, nothing to say with the life drain. Natsumi will be able to stun him up, however. Boomy on the backline as well. Winter's going to rotate through. Polyson scouts him out with the Malefice. Got to be careful here. He's going to try and run down to the south, straight into the Elder Titan. Looks like he will be fine. So a lot of the supports rotating mid, like we spoke about around the, around the timing. I don't think he can get this kill. They need 1 stun. He's going to go for it though, but the strength morph will be there in time. Yeah, that really rough. Maybe if Winter had a silence, but it looks like he didn't have it up. Meanwhile, Mac up top here. Velo's going to go for another dive and should be able to get this kill. Won't be a TP rotation in time. So Velo, 3 for 1. The power of Winter. They're not done just yet. Being swell. Stun will connect. They got a haste. Can he get there in time? However, they're going to get the slow from the Stroke of Fate. Nice body blocks as well. Polyson doesn't have the Malefice. Going to try and run out to the south, but he won't get there in time. Now they're keeping the haste for the Pogner as well because he's got the bottle. And this is the issue with giving a Batrider a solo lane. He's now level 7. He's going to get Boots of Trouble extremely fast after all these creeps are dead. He will have it now. And this tower's also going to get pressured. It's actually going to end up falling here. He'll be able to tank up the last few hits so the siege wave doesn't die. In the mid lane as well, nothing to say. It's just bullying out Natsumi. They've still got their siege creep as well. So even though this Enigma had a really rough time, they're probably going to be able to get 2 T1 towers.
Dire's top tower
And they're not
has
going to be able to
fallen.
deny this mid one. They don't get the top one either, so that's a really good way to start the game for Radiant. Batrider, route to travel now already completed, so he's going to be able to join the fight across the map. And we'll probably see nothing to say. You see this often. I mean, you take that mid lane tower extremely early, then you rotate down to the safe lane, or mainly it's the off lane, but I mean, they've already got that tower, so he'll probably try and rotate to another lane and put pressure on the tower, considering he's already got 4 points in the Nether Blast. But how's bot been going? So 36 and 8 compared to the 27 and 6 on the Omni Knight. So Bok is still having a really good time. He went for the 302 build, which I was kind of intrigued by the matchup. I wasn't sure how this would work out if Bok maxed out Degen Aura just for the movement speed slow against the Ursa. And it looks like it's actually going okay. Ursa can't really provide any pressure. The movement speed slow that you get from the Degen looks like it's enough to slow the Ursa down. Nothing to say. Don't get aggressive there. But meanwhile, there's a lasso out. Elder Titan's going to end up falling here. They drag him down on the low ground. Another kill for Velo. He's going to bully out the Morphling as well here. Just trying to steal as much farm as he can. And look at the lane right now. I thought it was... I mean, this is what Radiant had to do. We spoke about they had to be the ones that with the early game aggression coming through with the laning stage. I mean, you're the one with an Ursa. Batrider can dumpster lanes as well, which is what we're seeing once you put him in this solo matchup. And now all of a sudden, I mean, they've got a great ward, you know, deep in the jungle to scout out any rotations for potentially someone to defend the tier 2 tower. That's a lot of damage. Wow, nothing to say. He's got to be careful. Yes, Dire don't rotate through. Okay, so the Observe ward will get taken out. They're going to try and find Bok here, however. Polyson only level 2. But he does have the Centaur Conqueror. They're going to rotate on the backline here. They'll get the Malphus. Midnight Pulse as well, but Bok dodges down to that west side. It's going to be fine. Winter and Velo still in the area, however. They don't have Firefly. Going to try and stack up the charges here with the Sticky Napalm, but allows them to rotate through. They've got the slows faded as well. Moves pretty fast thanks to the phase. They might be able to find Boomy as well, Velo. Lasso up in 30. Just going to kind of pressure him back in. Make sure he can't, you know, defend this in any way. See, just trying to constantly scout him out, seeing if there's rotations. Telekinesis though. Velo's getting really aggressive here. I mean, Dire, there's nothing they can do though, and that's the issue. I mean, Naga doesn't come online at all at this stage. You see she's just farming back in the jungle, and neither does a Morphling. Like, I didn't speak about it actually in the drop, but they're lacking some tempo. They have no wave clear. It's really just waiting to the outer. Look at his level. Oh my lord, he's not even level 3. It's about to be 10 minutes in. And I potentially thought that they could delay this maybe with, you know, high levels in Fade Bolt and Elder Titan, high levels in like Astral and Sleep, because it is really good deep push and a way to defend your towers with how much AoE you have. But right now they're just way too low of a level, and it allows Radiant to just constantly put pressure on, and that's exactly what they're doing here with the Bounty Runes. They go for the Sleep, faded with the Inkswell, however. We'll be able to get the Bounty Rune now. They'll turn their attention to the Omni Knight, but with the Heavenly Grace, the Satyr's resistance makes that stun pretty minimal. Now you see the map control coming through. It's a 5k gold net worth lead at the 10-minute mark, and they're not done just yet. In Batrider, we'll be going for the drums, so sometimes we see actually Flame Break. They're going to try and find Mac here. Firefly is about to expire, but he's got the Arcane Rune, so just, you know, if he can get something out of it, then great, but if not, it's not a big issue. And also, looks like they could take Roshan. I mean, Faded didn't go for the Morbid Mask, but he's actually going to try now. I don't know if he can... He needs help here, I feel like. What's on the Courier? Okay, they got drums complete. This is big. This is probably all outer towers, I would imagine. So this is how Aegis usually works. It's first Aegis, you take all the outer towers. Second Aegis is you take, that's when you go high gun and end the game. And Winter, one more clap. Who did they? Wow, they gave it to the Pugner. Okay. So I'm going to presume Pugner's the one sieging the towers here. Lasso will be there on the Elder Titan. A lot of sticky napalm charge, and it looks like he will get brought down. Velo as well, able to... Wait, no way he stays alive. Wait, form away. Be fine here. So somehow Elder Titan survives, dodges that flame, dodges the Firefly. In the meantime, Bok pushing in bot. A little bit of space for the Naga as well, who's getting some farm. I gotta imagine Mac has to go Yasha Diffusal Blade this game. just so he can come online a little earlier. Diffusal Blade's going to be great to kite out the Batrider, just neglect a lot of his movement speed, and also just kiting out the troll, the Ursa. I guess they feel that Ursa doesn't get blown up with the Enrage, and also they want Pugna to be the one sieging the tower. That's my thought process when you give him the Aegis here. But let's see how they're playing this. They do have Black Hole, haven't used it yet. Polison's got, 4 points in the Eidolons with the Helmet Dominator, so they got to start pushing down towers. They got to do something. You can't let the Dire team just continue to farm, because we spoke about how if they can get levels, they're going to be able to defend the towers with the Rubik and the Elder Titan. And also, I mean, they can definitely transition late with a Naga and a Morphlink here, so Radiant do have to be careful. And looks like here comes the push. They're going to slowly go through top telekinesis, but so much damage on Boomy. Need a Stroke of Fate, but it's not going to be there. Instead, they'll turn their attention to Bok. We'll have the Heavenly Grace, so it's going to be fine here. Actually, Soulbind on the backline here. Fate is going to try and close the distance. They got the Ink Spell, but where's the movement speed? Looks like he will be fine. Okay, so they keep him alive here. And I didn't know actually Heavenly Grace was a strong dispel. There you go. So T2's going to drop. Velu does have the lasso though, Bok. Heavenly Grace does get chucked out to the lasso. It's going to be extremely short here. They should have enough magic damage, however, and he's going to get brought down with the Flame Break pushing him back, allowing him to just stay in range a little while longer for that life drain. And there you go. Tier 2 falls top. They're going to continue the pressure. I'd love to see. I mean, nothing to say. We'll be going for the Dagon instead of the Glimmer Cape, it looks like. Just want that increased magic damage to burst them down, because that's really what they've got right now on Radiant. Just trying to burst Dire down before they can get, the save from the Naga or the Omni Knight. Here's another push coming through. Tier 2 tower mid's going to be under threat. Mac does have the ultimate, but how are you going to set up for anything? Ursa taking a lot of damage thanks to the Riptide, but we'll be fine. They deal with the illusions. Nether Ward only level 1. Tier 2 still under threat, and they just don't have the big ultimates right now to really help out. They're just watching their towers slowly melt here, and Natsumi as well going for the Lincolns doesn't allow him to really have any impact early on. And that's the issue. A lot of the time you see, Morphlings, when you go for the Lincolns, it means they don't get the Morbid Mask. Just, Omni Knight, gotta be careful here, we'll be fine. A lot of the time, you see, if Morphlings go for the Lincolns, they don't need a Morbid Mask because the Perseverance will give you enough sustain. But now there's a Blink Dagger picked up on the Batrider. He's got the Haste Rune as well. They're going to try and find something out of this Aegis. Still in the hands of Radiant for another minute 40 here. Who can they catch, however? That's a big issue, because you got to remember, I mean, Omni Knight with the Heavenly Grace is going to make it incredibly hard here. Looks like they'll just slow siege a tower. They still the Nether Ward actually. Fate is going to be able to deal with this. Telekinesis will drag him back. Natsumi as well. A lot of magic damage. Going to be careful. Waveform. They'll lick up the Soulbind now with a double lasso. They'll drag him back. And now Polisson. Can he get in range for the Black Hole? It doesn't matter. They'll lose all 2. What a combination there. I did not think about that at all. The double lasso dragging them back into a potential, big Midnight Pulse, and then the ultimate as well. So tier 2 drops mid and top before the bounty runes as well. Looks like Naga might potentially try and get the ones top, but instead he's just going to cut the wave here. Gonna go for the TP out. There's nothing Radiant can do to deal with that, and all of a sudden this net worth lead is going to continue to grow. Seeing as they're able to get all 4 bounty runes, it's going to jump up around to, I imagine, a 10k gold net worth lead by the time all the bounty runes come through. And now they still have the Black Hole, which they have not used just yet. Aegis is up for another 30 seconds. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get another tier 2 tower out of it, however. Maybe can get a fight mid potentially. It's hard to find Bok. They need the silence coming through on the backline, however. Velo, lane break, will push him back here. They do get the silence extremely fast, however, thanks to the phase boots. If Velo had lasso, he's definitely dead there. I'm kind of surprised they didn't allow Winter maybe to initiate. Actually, top Black Hole's going to come through. They will get the Strength Morph off in time. Batrider's going to TP through. They stole the Black Hole. They've got to be careful, but Silence is going to be there. Velo's going to blink forward here, but the 2-man Black Hole stolen with a sleep as well. They got the Earth Splitter. A great fight for Dire here. They're going to be able to take this, and now 2 dead for Radiant. A little bit of a comeback. That's how you start this. A great steal. Kind of surprised. I think maybe Velo thought he might have the lasso up in time with the blink. It looks like he tried to put pressure on the Rubik and chain lock him down so he couldn't get that Black Hole off. But wait, what? Solo kill mid. Faded's got the Basher. Apologies. My bad. Was able to find the Naga Siren solo. That's a big kill. You don't really expect a Naga to die like that considering how much armor you have. And meanwhile, bot's also getting pressured. Should still be able to get this tier 2 tower. Nothing to say. The 8th lens to help out. Velo with the blink forward. Rubik is in the area, however, but it's not going to be enough. They've got so much magic damage. They're going to turn their attention now. Boomy does have the enrage. Just not going to take a lot of damage here. Nothing to say. Goes for the decrypt, but Natsumi. That distract is on cooldown, but they get the life chain. Boomy with the stolen. And now Faded. He's going to rotate through, however. Natsumi waveforms on cooldown. Where's the lockdown coming through? Winter will rotate. They got the ink swell as well. It's going to be able to hold him in place here. Silence is there. Soulbind just in case. It's got the strength morph. It's going to be pretty hard. They need to bashes and they'll get it. Faded. A double kill for him. And now in the meantime, they might not just be done yet. Mac's got to be careful with his positioning. So all of a sudden, I mean, Dire took a really good fight at the top side, but Radiant, they hit back really hard. It's now up to a 11k gold net worth lead. And they're just going to wait till Roshan, I imagine. Greaves now picked up... Oh, sorry, that's Mech. It sounded like Greaves. Actually, did they have different sound cues? I thought they did. Anyway. Greaves right around the corner from Polyson. Second Ages in the timing. That's when Radiant end this game. Potentially going to be up in a minute. Now, what can Dire actually do to protect this? Going to go for a Yule Scepter to help just kite out the Ursa and the Batrider whenever they blink forward. Another way to deal with the Black Hole as well. Going to be interesting to see if Polyson goes for a blink after the Greaves. I do like the straight Greaves build. I think it makes a whole lot of sense. When we spoke about that Radiant, they need to end this game fast. And they're going to be able to do that just because of the sustain coming through with the Helm of the Dominator. And also the Greaves. So this is a really nice pickup for them. They're going to try and find Winter here. They drop the Observer Ward, so they scout him out. But looks like he'll be fine. It's Mantis Stone now picked up on Mac. The first real big item for him, and it'll be interesting to see if he does go for the Diffusal Blade next. We spoke about it's going to be a really good way to kite out the heroes on Radiant. Even then, I mean, Faded's got Radiant queued up. This is interesting, actually. On the high ground, they find Velo here. Sleep's going to be off the mark. They will get the Flame Break back, and now Natsumi, can he close the distance? Got the Firefly just staying on top of everyone here, but the Soulbind. Velo has the lasso as well. It's going to drag him back. Where's Polyson? Doesn't have the Black Hole, but they'll drop the Midnight Pulse. The Earthsplit as well. Mac's going to TP through with the Sleep. It'll be enough to keep the core alive, but Mac now has to run because Fade's on the backline here. Going to go for the TP out. Velo will get slipped up, but it doesn't matter. They'll turn their attention to the Naga Siren. Inkswell stolen. Will it be enough to keep him live? Velo with the slows. They will get the Telekinesis to chuck him back as well. But Polyson with the Malefice. And will stun him up. They get the Black Hole as well. It's going to get stolen here from Boomy. So 2 heroes dead. Poking and prodding with the high ground as well. Unfortunately, Aegis isn't up for them. So, I mean, they get a few good kills there. Bot's also going to get pushed in from Velo thanks to the Boots of Travel. And he's going to be going for the 4-staff. So, we saw that fight, the double lasso in just dragging straight back onto the Midnight Pulse. And now that he's about to get the 4-staff as well, it's going to give him more reach to get to the Enigma for the, for that big black hole. Box going to get scouted out, however. We'll try and get some body blocks coming through so he stays on the Midnight Pulse. And they'll be able to, nothing to say, bursts him down. A lot of magic damage. Going to be able to find CLMC here as well. CL? I meant CML. Sounds like a... I'm not going to... I was going to say, I've got a... I don't know what I'm saying. It's just so irrelevant. I'm not going to say it. Alright. Whose courier died, actually? I think it was Dire. 4-staff now picked up on the Batrider. So this is really big for them. Just like I said, the catch to be able to drag them all the way back into the follow-up. Now, Aegis going to be up. Ready and raiding for Radiant in the next 40 seconds. Mac hasn't queued up anything just yet. They're going to smoke up, however. Natsumi closing in on the Linkets, but look how poor he is right now. And they'll find the Naga on the backline thanks to the Observer. They're going to be able to chain lock him down with the Inkswell as well. We'll get the Mantra out, but it doesn't matter. And our Box is going to be the next target under threat. But Radiant, they don't have enough catch for him. Natsumi as well is going to be incredibly careful. Still without the Lincolns. I mean, look at the net worth. Enigma's ahead of him right now as well. And they're just going to walk up the high ground here. With so much... There's a bash there, actually. They burst him down. Oh, Ozfolk, thank you very much. 25% bash. They will go for the sleep here. They want to try and take this with the Earth Splitter. They're all connected up here. Do they get it out in time? However, it's going to follow up with the Black Hole Sword here. BKB is going to get popped in time. Paulson doesn't have his. Soulbine's going to come through with the lasso as well. Just won't be there. 2 dead. They will buy back instantly. However, Fade is going to try and find Natsumi, but we'll get the ultimate. The Guardian Angel going to be enough to keep them alive a little while longer here. Winter on the backline. Max going to try and find it, but now he's overset the mark here. They'll turn their attention back on him. They get the enrage. Our Titan's going to get brought down. Now Fade is going to try and chase more here. They will get the Shadow Amulet. It's going to be enough to keep him alive. However, they got the burst and down it goes. The detection is there. 2 dead on Dire. Forced the buyback as well, I believe, on the Omni Knight. Now they're just going to walk up the high ground here. With 2 heroes dead, they used a lot of the ultimates as well, and MYSG in commanding position right now. Only the Morphling and the Ursa are the ones with buyback. And this game is looking grimmer and grimmer by the second. They're about to have Black Hole up in 30. They still have the Greaves. And they can take this if they really want to. I mean, all of Radiant are in the area. Lasso, Radiant waiting. And who do they want to jump here? The big target is the Omni Knight. If they can catch him, which they can right now if they want to. I'd love to see an Ink Swirl set up on the Batrider. But that's a long stun, actually. I didn't recognize it was that long. Wow. They're going to be fine. They get a full set of racks. They're going to back out. They'll double back on the high ground here. And Bok well aware of the shenanigans. He's going to back off. It's a great observe ward. Look how much vision it gives here. The tree is gone as well. Here comes a Roche push. Velo's going to be able to deal with the creep wave mid. So right now, there's nothing Dire can do because none of the waves are pushed in. I mean, Bot is slowly getting there. But there's going to be Aegis Cheese, and this is the one to end it all. I'm still kind of intrigued about this Radiance on the Ursa. I guess they're just this far ahead. Even then, I don't know about the Radiance. You're not stopping any blinks. Magic damage, I guess, is pretty good for the Naga, though. The Naga illusions, because they don't have the greatest way to deal with them. You see a lot of cores go for something like a Mjolnir. Just to help with the magic damage. The chain procs dealing with the illusion. So potentially the Radiance is going to help out there. But that's probably the thought process, I imagine. But now Aegis once again picked up on the Pugna. They gave the cheese to the Ursa. 9-second BKB. Are there any other BKBs? Not that I can see. What is Max still going? Okay, Diffuser Blade will be the item of choice. But here comes the push up top here. Netherward's just going to get dropped, faded. He's going to be careful here, taking a lot of damage. Wow. He's just going to back off. Maybe try and heal up. I mean, they got a lot of HP regen coming through. They're just letting the Pugna slow siege this with the, you know, with, of course, the Nether Blast. At least they did still the Nether Ward, so it's going to make it a little more difficult. But he's got an Arcane Rune if they want. Bot is getting pressured in. So Naga's going to do as much as he can to split push this. But here comes Velo. And now Mac's going to be careful because he's on top of the creep wave. And Velo's going to recognize this shortly. He'll go for the Song, TP out. That Song now on cooldown, which is actually extremely big. You know, setting up for that Earth Splitter. Potentially just resetting the fight as well. And now with him disengaging, it's going to allow Velo to get all of the bounty runes down bot. Unless Elder Titan could no, he's not going to get there in time. They're going to take a fight up top. They know they're TP'd out. Rubik's falling extremely low here. They will get the Soul Bind. Batrider's going to blink forward. He will get the lasso as well. Oh, actually, they got the Lincolns. Natsumi. Nicely played for him, but I don't think it's going to matter. Box getting chased down. They got the Guardian Angel. Fade is going to back away here. Wow, what a Lincolns. Soulbind lasso down now. Is that enough? I mean, they're gonna have Aegis for a while longer. That's, I mean, I think Radiant probably just wait until you get Lasso and Soulbind back up. Because it's very short cooldown. They're just gonna sit on the high ground. Try and scout it here. And Die gonna make a play. They know these ultimates are on cooldown. They don't have the Song to set up, which is a big issue. But Body's pushed in. They're gonna try and deal with mid. They're walking into the high ground observe ward though. They gotta be careful. Nothing to say. He's gonna be fine. Scouts them all out here with the blink 4, connects on them all. They're gonna burst them down. Out of Titan Force, they'll turn their attention to the Morphlings. Gotta be careful. Natsumi doesn't have the BKB. They'll get rid of the Aegis. Box and end up falling here. Bash will be there. How do you keep the Morphling alive? They got the detection coming through. Morph drops. He does have buyback. He's gonna do it instantly here, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna blink forward. Can they find Boomy? A second hit bash and down he goes. No buyback as well. It's a triple kill for the Ursa. And we could just be seeing Die getting knocked out of the qualifiers. Their backs are against the wall right now. Second set of racks are about to fall. They still have cheese on the Ursa if they want. And Velo just scouting out the back line. He's got the lasso. Who can he catch here? Gotta be careful. Hard to get the Morphling because he does have the Lincolns. But there you go. 2 full sets of racks. It's a 27k gold net worth lead. And they're gonna back up. Probably try and get the bot shrine here. Velo's still playing around top if he can maybe get Mac. But this is looking really good for Radiant. It looks like they want this, you know, revenge match up against MYSG in the grand final. And they might be able to get it here. But I'd say they're about... I wonder what timing we got for them. Do they want to wait for the next Aegis? I mean, one more fight, they win this. I'm going to say they're about 2 minutes away. They're about to win this fight. There's a very good observer board for Die, however. Going to be careful here with how they're positioning. Fade in on front line. He's still got the cheese. The BKB as well. They're going to put the one on the high ground. Pops the BKB. He's going to initiate forward. Abyssal Blade does get picked up, but they're able to purchase off thanks to the Heavenly Grace. They're going to disengage here. It's a BKB on cooldown now. Dire are going to try and get something out of this. It looks like Radiant all the way out of position. So their auras out of the way. They'll be fine. Still in the area, however. They're going to smoke up. Any wards for Radiant in the area? Vader's going to get scouted. Cheese, remember. Nice blink away. So instead, not going to come through. And you see Radiant. They're going to hard disengage here. Mid's getting pushed in. Polysun does have the blink in the black hole. Maybe they're baiting the Ursa off. They want to double back on the high ground. Because all the way on the back line is the Batrider. It's going to be able to deal with the Observer Ward. And now you see Die straight away. Without the vision on the back line, they don't know if anyone's wrapping around. So they'll TP out. So we don't have a big fight down bot. That's just another BKB charge down. 7 seconds down for the Ursa. Second item now finally completed for Mac. They can deal with the lanes just because of the Naga. I mean, with the illusions, you're able to deal reasonably well. But that's the issue. No one else really can. Just, relying on the Naga. Morphling's okay, but he has no items. I mean, look at the net worth. 3k behind this position 4 Enigma. I mean, Grimstroke's always... Grimstroke's right next to him as well. He's going straight for a Hex. And they're just going to go up the high ground here. They'll try and slow sieges. Kind of surprised Nothing to Say hasn't used an ability, so they don't get the Nether Ward. Blink forward, Abyssal Blade as well. Can they keep him alive? They've got the Heavenly Grace, and they'll be fine. So Mac's going to be careful with his positioning here. Still trying to keep the Nether Ward up. They will be able to, thanks to the decrypt, but it's going to slowly get brought down. They got the illusions, and they will be able to, but... Radiant, I wonder if they're going to try and get the lanes pushed in here. Bella's going to scout out. Who can he find? We'll get Boomy. No. Does he put the Lincolns, actually? Who did? I thought he looked like he went to lasso Boomy there, but... Alright, so lasso down. Wasn't able to get the 4-staff off. He must have gone on the Rubik. But then if he uses it on... That was really weird. I'm actually not sure what just happened, but... There you go. Alright, so Radiant, they're going to disengage with the boundary runes coming up. 30-minute mark, they'll be able to get all 4 once again. This net worth lead is still growing, and it looks like they're probably just going to wait till the next Aegis now. This will be Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard, of course, the third. They'll wait till they hit their items, because, I mean, look at the gold. I mean, 3,200 on the Enigma. Grimstroke is going for the Hex, so it's going to take him a while to get there and die. They're going to try and smoke up here. If they can get something before the Aegis, they're going to run straight into Velo, but he's got the blink and he'll be fine. He's going to try and find Mac. Faded's in the area as well. So a smoke for Nor, and now maybe Radiant want to try and take this fight. They're Nor, all not in the area. They'll pop the Lincoln Tower. They're going to drag him straight back. They pop the BKB. Do they have enough control coming through the bat? The Abyssal Blade's going to be off the mark, and they will get the ultimate out. But the BKB from Faded turned their intention. They got the Heavenly Grace. They're going to try and deal with the ward, and they will be able to. Meanwhile, on the back line, however, Winter's going to find them a blink forward. They bring down the Omni. A big kill for them. He does have buyback, however. It's going to rejoin them. Natsumi with the waveform with a high gun, but Mac doesn't have the ultimate now. Soulbind's going to be there. Velo as well. Lasso's on cooldown, but it doesn't matter. Where's the blink with the black hole? However, the Dagon coming through. That bursts him down. Max falling low as well. Can he get inside the base with the Poison? Enigma black hole. It's going to get cancelled here, but it doesn't matter. Radiant just steamrolling all over them now. It's going to be 2 dead. They both don't have buyback. Box got to be careful as well. But the creeps are inside the base. And that could be it. The last lane of racks is under threat now. Faded's going to go to work. Nothing to say. Just burst down the Omni Knight. And they drop the G's. So Radiant They're going to move on. They'll have a rematch up against MYSG in the grand final. And they're looking incredibly strong. They steamrolled over Dire. Played it really methodical, waiting for, you know, these ages. Taking fights on their terms right around the observe wards, but I think the big issue is that you left the Batrider solo. He created so much space. And I guess even though you kind of shut down the Enigma, it forced, like I said, forced the Batrider to be solo, which then allowed him to get incredibly farmed. Ursa as well. They just had so much high tempo from power. And that's the issue. When you go for a Naga and a Morphling, I mean, these heroes don't come online. They need a few items. Naga needs about 3. Morphling, you know, he can come online a little earlier, but when you're, you know, this under-leveled, this under-farmed as well, it's a big issue. And I think it just, another outdraft coming through. Look at the net worth. I mean, Grimstroke was right behind this Morphling. And in the end, I mean, power of MYSG. In these 2 games, they were looking incredibly strong right now. But like I said, they are going to have a rematch up against MYSG in the grand finals. This is what the bracket is looking like. Of course, MYSG were able to knock out team Adroit, but of course, MYSG now, they're just the last team in this this stack who, what did they play? They played 11 games in one day, went toe-to-toe with Fnatic in the major calls. They were 1 game away from qualifying. And now let's see if they can make the run through, you know, potentially the minor. They still, one more team they've got to go through. MYSG, that rematch is going to be right around the corner. A big shout out though to, of course, DX Racer for helping sponsor the tournament. But with that being said, we're going to take a break, guys, right before the grand finals. We'll be back very shortly.